Hi, I'm Terry MUNSELLE of the MUNSELLE Group with Compass in the Desert. Today, I'm going to do a video just on our Indian Ridge Country Club. I have been a member and a full-time person here since 1998. I believe I am the longest agent working, and all the others came sometime after that. And with that, I have a knowledge that can help you and friends, but obviously friends for buying and you for selling. I've sold over 400 homes in Indian Ridge, and I've sold 400 homes outside of Indian Ridge. I specialize in all country clubs and resorts, so my clientele is very similar, and when it works to help them find a home in Indian Ridge, I am thrilled. Obviously, I've sold a lot of homes here as the listing agent because of my knowledge, and I've sold some of those 3 and 4 times the same home. So if I can help you, give me a call. But in the meantime, I want to give you some knowledge because I get a lot of people that are newer. We've sold a lot of new homes here this year. They don't have the understanding of the history and how Indian Ridge evolved and why. And maybe the model they're looking for is never going to be available. So I try to help people sometimes understand how things evolved on the map so they can see what they're asking for, and maybe we can evolve into something else for them if it doesn't exist. Bill Bone, brilliant developer, started Indian Ridge. Let me think. We started in 93, and this first phase was built out in 95. How did it evolve? Well, back in the 60s, he started with Sunrise Country Club, and he really evolved with this concept that really wasn't elsewhere at the time. He did a few condos over in Palm Springs. I ran into a couple of those one day, and this looks like an Acacia 4, and it was. But he really started his clubs in Sunrise Country Club in Rancho Mirage. Concept: everything on a fairway around a central, great, fun club. And then that was 60s. And then he did Rancho Las Palmas. He moved over to Monterey Country Club in the 70s. We had one of those later on, my husband and I, for a couple of years when we were weekenders from LA. And then he evolved from Monterey Country Club, and he did the lakes. And that was early 80s. And then he moved to Palm Valley Country Club, and that's late 80s. Finished that off and moved right across the street and started Indian Ridge. So that was 91 and 2 that was being developed. The first ones were built in 93. And I'll never forget, we had a condo at that time in Palm Springs in La Palm over by the airport. And Carol and Howard Chase, Howard recently passed, but Carol is still here, and I talked to her the other day, and I told her I was going to tell this story. We were all laying by the pool one Saturday, and she came back with him and said, they were so excited. They just bought this condo in this new place. It wasn't built yet, and it was called Indian Ridge. And we're like, where is that? So we go out to what seemed like the end of the world at the time. Washington was the end of the world. We get to Indian Ridge, and it's 640 acres of like desert. Wow, okay, we'll see how this happens. Well, we didn't know that by 1998, we were going to come over and buy a weekend condo in Indian Ridge on Red Arrow, and it developed fast. So I want to show you the phases. With that, I'm getting ready to move to my 4th home in here. That's what happens. People tend to love it. I went small, bigger, and now I'm going to probably downsize. I am downsizing to about 2,400 square feet. So I'm designing my 4th home, which is fabulous. And I explain that to people, buyers especially. They don't understand that when you get here, you pretty much want to, you develop so many great friendships, you don't want to have to go start over somewhere else. You want to find a home within your club if you need a different size. Here's first phase, okay? Phase 1, 93 to 95. You have all these condos on Falcon View, Box Canyon, Red Arrow, and then Desert Holly. Those are it. Those are your condos. Your smoke trees, and those are all the acacia, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, small to big, 5. And then he developed, let me try this. He goes, I've never done these. Single family, so they're detached homes within our condo section. So this was, everything else here is all desert. These are your condos. And these condos were just these streets, and then he had these right here. These were lottery lots that people got up way early in the morning to get over here and put their name in, because these are around that beautiful water on hole number 5, the par 3 there on Grove. People were sleeping out over in Palm Valley and getting over here early to get their names on that. So it was hot commodity. And he goes, well, I don't need to be doing a whole bunch of condos when these single family homes seem to be taking off. Remember, Bill Bone always evolved to what people were looking for. So he built out his smoke trees here and some smoke trees here, and then Deer Haven smoke trees, and then smoke trees here. And then he started with a new version of the single family home within the condo, and that is the Palo Verdes. He built his Palo Verdes right here, these west facing Palo Verdes on hole number 2 Grove, right? That's it. Now, for this at the time, by the way, this was Model Circle on Eagle Dance, and these were the original models for the smoke trees and the acacias. And of course, here's our club. JK's is right here. And so then he goes, I'm going to do this whole section too. Here's phase 2. This is 95 to 96. These are all, first of all, these are mesquites. These are the acacia condos that he made single family. Again, testing a concept. And then he did all Palo Verdes here, all the way around this circle, Palo Verdes, and over here on Bright Rock, Palo Verdes. And now it was done, 96. Now, the bottom half of the club, this is the whole south half right here, and here's your back gate to Hoveley. He turned this into, at that point, a planned unit development. Not condos. So you own your own home, own your own land, and that's why the dues here are at $485 right now. It doesn't cover things like insurance and roof, whereas this section it does, because even if it's a detached home, it's in the condo section. This section is not. So with that, you've got a whole different ball of wax. Here is 97 to 99. This is phase 3. And these are your bougainvilleas, your ocotillos, and your jacarandas. And then over here was when he finished. Here's the last street built, 2001. And he had people waiting for the big homes right here that he couldn't all fulfill. He had to turn some of them down for those jacarandas. Built his prototypes here, as he liked to do sometimes in a club. He'd build prototypes, and these are the 9 Toscana prototypes, and to see what people liked and what else he needed to change to evolve to make the new Toscana world that he was starting to do across the street. So when you look at it this way, it makes more sense. So when I get people that say, I am looking for a south-facing Bougainvillea 2, okay, we're down here, starting here. They only made 12 of those. So those are going to be hard to find. So maybe I'll say to them, why don't we think about, because you like 2,700 square feet, let's go up here on Deer Haven, because you have some amazing views here on Deer Haven. You have that size home, and you can get south and lake, you can get some north, whatever it is, but they exist elsewhere on our map here, but in a different version. You just got to know where to go look. So I'm going to take you over here and show you this one. This is the overall map. So here's the front entrance off of Country Club. Here we are. Here's all of phase 1, right? Here's phase 2 and phase 3 and 4. When you look at it this way, you can understand, oh my goodness, back in the day. So in 93, the clubhouse was where the sports club is, because right here, we didn't have the main clubhouse yet. And they had like 12 women golfer members. I mean, it was small, very tight-knit group of fun people. As I got here in 98, the parties were getting bigger, and he would open a new phase. It was a wingding. We had one that was Arabian Nights for his opening party, and it had camels out on the driving range. It was way fun. One time we had the Old Wild West, and you had an Old Wild West town here with a saloon and the dancing girls and palm readers. We had some amazing parties, and it's fun when a developer has that kind of foresight of how to draw and do parties for the people he's trying to draw. And what was he doing? He was creating the adult camp that we all have today. So, and then when he finished here, by the way, I don't know if everyone knows this, these were the original models for the Bougainvillea 1, 2, the Ocotillo 1, 2, 3, and then the Jacarandas here. The main clubhouse was, this first one was the office at the time, the sales office. So he knew how to create the hub, and more people got drawn to it. And then, of course, it got sold out. It's a fabulous club in the middle of town. But I've sold some of these, like I said, 3 and 4 times. So it's just a matter of helping buyers figure out what it is they want and how can I help them find it in the shortest amount of time. With only 6 on the market right now, it's a matter of just knowing what it is you want and then going and calling the people that have that and say, hey, are you ready to make a life change? And where are you thinking about going? Or let's get you into another home here. So if I can help you, I've got a lot of knowledge on the place, and I can help do it in a quick timeline for you if you need to. Give me a call if you're thinking of buying or selling or have any other questions about the desert and Indian Ridge in particular. Thank you.